Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Hims. For a trial month of Hims for just $5, go to forhims.com/RT. Hey everyone, and welcome to Inside Gaming for Tuesday. Hey, don't celebrate too early. We got a death in the video game family today.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, Apex Legends has been out for less than 3 months, and it looks like it's already in big trouble. Might be dead and buried already.
Ooh, yeah, the upstart Battle Royale game took the world by storm in February, and some people were calling it the new champion of the ultra-competitive genre.
Yeah, Battle Royale, it's a hard hill to climb, but these days, not so much. Apex numbers have steeply dropped off, and it's fallen behind its arch rival Fortnite.
Yeah, recently the financial firm WY Capital accused Apex of being overvalued, that's a slur, and they said that most of its early popularity was artificial, it wasn't real.
Ninja was apparently just not playing Apex out of the goodness of his heart like we thought.
Nope, that $1 million really helped.
No, that Uno game though, that was purely from the soul.
Hasbro paid him $50 for that.
Data from Google shows that interest and viewership for Apex have steadily declined after its launch in February.
The game has also declined drastically on Twitch. According to data from Stream Elements, Apex peaked at 40 million hours watched in a single week in February.
That is absurd. That's an all-time high, apparently for any game ever, but it's lost most of those viewers and is down to 10 million now per week. Meanwhile, Fortnite has held steady at 20 million hours a week for the last month or so.
Slow and steady. WY Capital also said that Apex did have a strong launch, but said that its traffic was acquired and not organic.
Calls the net like it is. That's because EA paid streamers like Ninja to play Apex initially, but once they stopped playing it, interest, quote, dropped sharply. Ouch. Yeah, I guess you want to like flick some sparks into that tinder and have it go up, and instead it's like me being a Boy Scout.
Oh yeah, I made second class, that was it.
I got to Weebelo.
Oh, that's nice.
I started a fire with a magnifying glass.
That's Cub Scouts, I think.
That's, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Busted.
Yeah,
Stolen valor right here. Stolen valor. I checked Twitch recently and Apex, not doing that great. It was just over 21,000 viewers today compared to 135,000 for Fortnite. Weirdly, League of Legends is back on top. I don't know what's going on.
Damn it. I thought we'd moved on. WY Capital summed by saying, quote, Apex is overvalued. It is successful for a Battle Royale game, but it won't reach Fortnite levels, not even close.
Why has Apex Legends fallen off so quickly?
I'm gonna try really hard to not be super smug about this. I actually never really liked Apex Legends at all.
Oh God, you're one of those guys.
We ran some actual things aside from my prejudice to report on. Apparently content, or lack thereof, is a major issue.
Since Apex Legends launched, it has added a grand total of 1 new weapon and 1 new character all in that time. In just under 3 months, it still only offers squads mode and map. It really hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, and Fortnite's map changes all the time. It's pretty cool. Meanwhile, Fortnite adds a new gun, vehicle, or item each week. Not to mention it has solos, duos, squads, and several other modes to play.
Plus, Fortnite's adding that crossover event with Avengers Endgame. That's not gonna help Apex Legends
with
at all.
With the biggest movie ever. What has Apex got?
Suicide Squad.
La Llorona. You might be thinking Fortnite has been around for a lot longer, so of course they're gonna have more content, which is true. It's very true. But if we go back and look at Fortnite back when it was the same age as Apex Legends is now, its developer Epic Games was still putting out way more patches and updates.
Let's compare. Let's use our time stone. Go back. Nice Avengers reference there by me. Apex, it's been out for about 2 months and 19 days, depending on when you're watching this. In that time, Respawn has put out a total of, I counted 5 patches and balance updates, plus new content like Season 1 and a balance update. So that's pretty much what they got. So in that same time period, Fortnite had more than a dozen patches. It had already started Season 2 by this point. It had added the Battle Pass, the store. So a lot of stuff at this point in its life. It was already ahead of Apex.
Apex did launch with 2 new features that kind of helped get it some notoriety at the off there. The respawn system and the ping system, both very cool. Those helped to differentiate the game from Fortnite when it launched, especially the ping system, which let players communicate efficiently with each other without having to talk over headset because talking to other humans is trash.
I know we need to go there without also knowing that you my mom. What did Fortnite do to combat this? Well, it stole the idea. It added its own ping system less than a month after Apex released, and it's also adding a respawn system as well, because of course it is.
So fast. There's no doubt that Epic has been much more aggressive about content updates for Fortnite than Respawn has with Apex Legends, even during Fortnite's first few months of existence.
It's also worth noting that Epic is much, much bigger as a company than Respawn. A lot more employees, so it's got a lot more resources to throw at the problems that come up while managing such a big game.
Epic currently has more than 1,000 employees, and its founder Tim Sweeney told Variety that most of them actually work on Fortnite.
And apparently they crunched the shit out of those employees too, because according to a new report just today from Polygon, current and former employees they talked to said they regularly work 70-hour weeks on Fortnite, and some said they work 100-hour weeks, which is insane. That's too much for one game.
All that for new dances. All that just to see that clip of all those kids flossing at that concert in Denmark or whatever. Play it.
There's an editor who just went, Damn it, Lawrence!
You should have it saved on your desktop. Anyway, by contrast, Respawn is just a fraction of that size. Back in 2017, it had 205 employees when EA acquired it for more than $400 million.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, oh, well, Respawn's got EA behind it. Yes, that is true, but people at Respawn, remember, they stressed over and over that EA had nothing to do with the development of Apex Legends. So in terms of the size of their companies and their resources, maybe Apex versus Fortnite was always a big mismatch.
I mean, that's pretty clear now. A couple things are funny about this. One is that everybody was so smug about Apex Legends being good, and it was like, oh, it's because EA wasn't involved, or EA runs everything. But Apex is now, it's not soaring high anymore either. So EA's involvement didn't matter either way, kind of seems. Other weird thing, God, it seems like you just have to throw money into a furnace to play this game regardless. The games of service thing doesn't come easy, and it seems like a lot of developers think it could be. EA's probably been in that mindset for a while, like, we'll just put loot boxes in it, and then we'll make money forever.
It's like all these Silicon Valley startups, though. Like, does Amazon make money? Like, does Netflix make money? They just burn through money just to build up their platforms until eventually all the mom and pops are out of business, and then they can.
While Apex Legends still might be successful, it's looking like it won't live up to that early hype of being a Fortnite killer because Fortnite is doing just fine.
Side note, you know which Battle Royale game is really doing fine? PUBG. It fell off in the West, but it's still really popular in Asia. That's a great continent to be popular in because it brought in $920 million in revenue last year.
I guess Fortnite gets Endgame, but PUBG got Suicide Squad, so...
Academy Award-winning.
What has Apex got?
Suicide Squad.
La Llorona.
Yes.
Suicide Squad.
Croc looked great.
Yeah!
I am Croc. It's time for me to do the one thing I do in the movie. That movie sucks. Anyway, we got one Battle Royale game that might be dying. Looks like it's pretty much on the way out, and another that's been brought back to life. They'll probably coexist. It's just Apex is settling down into its active player base, which looks like it's gonna be pretty low.
It'll just be a little Battle Royale game instead of a
Tiny
big
little boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of, hey, let's go play Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode. Yeah.
Forget that that's out.
We're so good at making video games.
And this was EA's big success. Remember, they're like, we f***ed up these other two games, but we still got Apex. Now they got nothing.
I got Star Wars.
Fallen Order.
There we go.
The trailer looked good, and advanced trailers are never faked or bad, so.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I heard it's like Dark Souls. Where?
This is a downer. Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't like Apex anyway. This is good news for me. I was right. I said I wouldn't be smug, but now I am. That's my smug face. All right, let's get out of here.
This is the longest outro ever.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Hims. Hims is a telemedicine service that offers some medical services over the internet. Specifically, in this case, they can offer you prescriptions to prevent the loss of hair. I signed up for it to try it out, basically to see what the service is like and maybe how exhaustive their examinations are. Because we've heard a lot of concerns from the community that this service might be circumventing the normal patient-doctor relationship. We absolutely wouldn't want that to happen. And in fact, if you have a doctor that you trust, you should go to them, and then you can just transfer your prescription to Hims, have it filled over the internet, and you don't have to go to a store. But apart from that, if you want to use this service, basically I signed up for it, so I took photos of my hairline from various angles. They reviewed it. They actually asked me to take new photos because the previous ones I took were too blurry, so at some point somebody was actually looking at them and evaluating them. They eventually noticed that there was some thinning hair, which I kind of noticed too. It's just part of getting older, it happens. And they prescribed to me a very low dose of finasteride. So now that comes in the mail every month, and I take it along with my fish oil to try and prove that I'll live forever. If you'd like to try it out, we have an offer code for you. You can get a trial month of Hims for $5 at forhims.com/RT. That's forhims.com/RT for a $5 trial month subscription. Thank you, Hims, for the sponsorship. Person has to tell the influencer, you need to say this, and then the influencer needs to do it. If the person buying the ads doesn't tell the influencer that, then they're at fault.
That's what Machinima did, right?
Yep.
They didn't tell the influencers.
Because Machinima can't do anything right.
But the FTC has said that those payments weren't properly disclosed, and the settlement basically said you have to disclose these to the audience in the